Hello my fellow sickos of all gender, TW here, and welcome to my stream of conscious style video on Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, or at least the one made by Edios-Montreal. Words, I can use them. I do declare, I believe. Nevertheless, this is the one we're taking a look at today. It is quite the interesting entry because to this day, there are people that are apprehensive to play this game all because of how much of a flop the Avengers game was. And I feel like that's kind of a shame. So let's take a look at this game to see if it actually is worth checking out. I know I think it is, at least at this moment, but who knows? Maybe my mind will change once I actually start analyzing this. The story follows a ragtag team of Star-Lord Peter Quill, Gamora Zenwilberry, aka the Assassin, Drax the Destroyer, Rocket, and Groot, aka the Guardians of the Galaxy, aka freelance workers who are desperate for units, which is this game's currency. The main conflict surrounds our team having to, of course, save the galaxy from an overwhelming amount of doom. Said doom, in this case, coming in the form of a religion which harnesses literal faith energy by making false promises to its followers. Not very subtle messaging here, but I can dig it. Oh, and the leader of the cult, Raker, has appointed a 12-year-old girl, Nikki Gold, as their matriarch, as she's fallen under their spell 100% due to her mom and Quill's ex, Corel, getting killed saving the child, and the church promising to bring her back. Oh, and Drax temporarily falls under the hypnosis of the horrifying heathens, but thanks to some help from Mantis, aka the Celestial Madonna, as well as the Guardians, everyone's favorite literal-minded meat man reclaims his mentality. Oh, and Adam Warlock helps too. He's here too, by the way. He was the original deity for the church, but after disagreeing with the whole evil thing, he was excommunicado, but is willing to assist with the Guardians of the Galaxy gang. And with his help, as well as some folks they met along the way in their journey, the church is defeated and there was much rejoicing, including a truly well-earned walk of fame. Take it in, heroes. You deserve it. Clap, 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 clap. Also, there's a nice bit of comedy during the credits sequence. Silly Adam. But wait, there's more! Adam couldn't control the magic that he absorbed, and now he's gone full Galactus on us. Thankfully, Peter's surrogate daughter Nikki has unlocked her Super Saiyan form and helps the team defeat the extremely evil entity, but it seems it may have come at the cost of the life of one Quill Lord. That is until Groot remembers that he has a revive ability, so hooray for gameplay and story integration! As usual, I skipped over a lot for this story, but this is a 15+ hour game which has a narrative that's much better experienced than explained. I mean, I didn't even talk about Nowhere, which oddly enough is the only area in the game that features almost no combat. And that's a compliment, by the way. If anything, I could have used one more area like this to break up all the combat. Don't get me wrong, it isn't bad by any means, but the second half sometimes feels a bit loaded with it. Especially when they start throwing enemies at you with multiple health bars. Never been a fan of those. What I am a fan of is how these characters are written. Mary DeMarle, Casper Hartman, Ethan Petty, Craig Towsley, Dave Stager, Steph Jolin, and Jocelyn Baxter could have easily made carbon copies of the MCU and be done with it. However, they instead make clear distinctions between the MCU and this game. For example, 0 romantic moments between Star-Lord and Gamora. In fact, Gamora is very different here. Yes, she is the daughter of Thanos and sister to Nebula, but the devil is in the details. For one, she killed Nebula due to her sister becoming, in her words, a monster, and was so troubled by this, she became suicidal until Mantis helped her. I could easily play an entire game where it's just Mantis and Gamora, by the way. You got Gamora, who is much more down to earth, and then there's Mantis, who is constantly seeing every reality at once and acts super cute while doing it. If that doesn't sound like a million sales, then I don't know what does. Speaking of Mantis, she reveals that in an alternate reality, both she and Star-Lord are ex-lovers, and to be more specific, they're divorced, and I gotta tell you, that really piques his interest. That really shows just how much the devs at Edios-Montreal wanted to make this version of the Guardians their own. I mean, hell, Yondu is spending time in prison due to Peter turning him in for child trafficking, just in case you wanted yet another major difference. No Mary Poppins here, y'all! What is here is one hell of a soundtrack, and I'm not even talking about the licensed music, which does rule to be fair. What I'm really on about is the fictional band Star-Lord, which is where Quill derives his name from in this game. Steve Jabowski and Johan Boudreaux put together a full album, and if you're a fan of classic metal, then this will rock your socks. I also have to commend the devs for all the optional dialogue implemented into the game. If I only did what was mandatory, it would probably only take me about 12 hours to finish the game, but there's so much extra to learn about these characters that it would be criminal not to partake. And I gotta mention the alternate outfits. You have to go out of your way to find them, but they're totally worth it. And yes, they do include the MCU variants just in case you need some Drextista! Overall, the 2021 Guardians of the Galaxy video game is one hell of an adventure. The linear nature of it may not be to everyone's liking, but it still executes its mission very well. And it remembers the most important lesson of any piece of Guardians media. Family doesn't have to be blood related, it's all about where you find it. Not a single member of the team is related by blood, and yet by the time the credits roll, they have nothing but love for one another. And that was Guardians of the Galaxy! Man, one thing I love is whenever they do these alternate covers, where, you do technically get the official cover and all that, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm always interested in what they do alternatively on the other side, so you can just flip it over and boom, you got this little artwork right here. Fist of the North Star has this has it, and a few other games, but to me, not enough. It really makes getting physical editions worth it, and yes, this is a PlayStation 4 box, but the version you just saw is the PlayStation 5 version because it's free. That's right, if you own the PlayStation 4 version of Guardians of the Galaxy, get the PS5 version for free! And that's how it should be, man. I mean, I understand, if it's just between like $5 and $9 or $10, that's not the worst thing in the world, but there are some companies that just want you to flat out buy another game full sale. Like, oh, you have the original version, and now we have an upgraded version. Well, guess what? You still gotta pay full price, suckers. That's like, what do you take us for? And over here, Edios-Montreal and whoever the publishers are, you think I would have remembered that. Is it Square Enix? Yes, Square Enix. I am a professional, believe it or not. Ugh, no one's going to believe that. Nevertheless, even Square Enix, as, money hungry as they are, they gave us a free version of this. Oh man, that is absolutely bonkers. Oh man, nevertheless, that is Guardians of the Galaxy done and dusted and put into the past. And away it goes. Oh, well, that's going to be a bitch to collect. Nevertheless, that's for future Teed Up to worry about. And what about you future viewers? What are you going to watch in the future from me? Find out after these credits. And until then, I hope you all have a perfect rest of your day. The next game I'm going to be looking at is... Alright, I don't have a physical edition because I got it for free with a PS5 version of a different game. Crazy how that works out. Man, I love when companies are generous like this. Anyways, the next game I'll be looking at is the PlayStation 5 version of Marvel's Super